We the best around.
We designated Spittaz live every week. Designated homie cause we sticky heat. We designated Spittaz deep. Talking Yankee baseball, hip hop for the streets. We designated, we innovative. We designated Spittaz time, what you know. We designated, we innovative. We designated Spittaz, let's start the show.
What is going on, everybody? Pete Simonetti here for NyynewsTV, and look who I have with me today. I'm pretty sure you guys already know Anzo. What's going on, man? Now, let me make sure. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Anzo. Yep.
Anzo. There we go. Anzo.
My nickname.
That's the nickname, Anzo. You've got the T-shirt. Look at this.
Yeah. You got the branding, got everything.
Of course. No, but definitely, guys, in the description right here, it's going to be directly to Anzo's YouTube channel. I mean, you're talking about somebody who puts out entertaining videos, exciting videos, insightful, all that fun stuff. There's so many people out there. Anzo, I'm telling you guys right now, is one of the better ones. So make sure you are subbing immediately upon watching this episode of Designated Spittaz. And Anzo, you are joining for the very first time, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's an honor.
How you doing? Tell us a little about what you do, by the way, anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, I live out here in Houston, Texas. I'm from Connecticut originally, born and raised. Lived there maybe like 22 years of my life. Now I'm out here and I'm being bombarded by all these Houston Astros fans. And I got to the point when I'm like, can the Yankees finally beat the Astros? I mean, it's ridiculous. So I'm like, I have to make a YouTube channel to talk about this. And I even banged some trash cans outside of Minute Maid Park. And that's how it started. I'm a huge Yankees fan. And it's an honor to be here.
You are just out there chilling in enemy territory. Like, hey guys, look, the one day we're going to get you guys. All right. One day it's going to happen. But you know, it's funny that, you know, we're talking about the Houston Astros because there's actually a lot of things that I feel like the Yankees need to learn from a team like Houston. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to see it, I feel like there is a lot that the Yankees have to learn. I don't know if you caught my episode with Kevin Kernan. But yes. We spoke a lot. I actually heard a lot about this beforehand, but you brought up the Astros, so I kind of just want to start there because I feel like it actually makes sense. Yeah. One thing I love, and I don't know how you are, because the first time we're actually speaking to each other, so I don't know how much you are like when it comes to the analytics stuff and all that, and if it excites you, if you're like, whatever, use it sporadically, or use it, but make sure you still have an eye on the game.
Yep.
We found out that Dusty Baker is very much like that, where he was like, hey, click, stay away. We're not moving, guys. It's like, what happens here is my decision. I think a lot of Yankee fans feel like the Yankees front office is involving too much with Aaron Boone and what happens on the field. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And I actually love that part when you started talking about that. I was like, wow, that makes total sense. Dusty is actually taking charge and click. And that's why there was that argument or whatever. They didn't like each other, was because, I mean, me personally, I don't really like mess around with the analytics that much. It's like Derek Jeter. He recently said like, no, like it's full of analytics nowadays and we need to change it up. Yeah. And I totally agree with him. It's too much analytics. And Dusty Baker, I mean, well deserved. The Houston Astros won it fair and square this season. And it's something that you got to just tip your cap to him and say, hey, we'll get you next time. But Dusty Baker and all that, totally agree with him. I wish Aaron Boone would step up and be like, hey, no, like this is my team. You gave me this job. I'll be willing to get fired for it. I don't care. And stop being a puppet.
Yep. Man, oh man, I said it in much different words many different times. But I tell you what, you hit it right on the head. And it's almost funny because even like when I talk to guys who've known Aaron Boone's dad, his grandfather, and these are all baseball guys, and they are. Like when Aaron Boone comes down and goes, hey, I'm a baseball guy, bro. It's like when you first hear it, you almost want to laugh and be like, Aaron, hold on a second. Like the moves you make are not baseball guy moves. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, Aaron Boone's not a baseball guy, because he is. But I'm just like, what you just said before is like, bro, at some point, you got to stand up for yourself and say, enough is enough. I need to manage my club.
Exactly.
And I'm hoping, like, every single year, I'm hoping, like, please, Aaron, like, I know you're better than what is happening on the field. You got to get that front office, the analytic guys out of the room where they're kind of handling what happens. And Kevin Kernan brought up a great point. He goes, Pete, those are 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. decisions. Everything that happens in a game happens before. So Boone doesn't have the say of going, nah, not today. It's like, no, that's the plan for today, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's scary, man. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was kind of envious when like the Mets got like Buck Showalter, because I was like, hey, that guy could be good. Yep. I mean, Dusty Baker could have been good too. I mean, you see all these baseball teams. Basically,
what about Bochy? Bochy would have been amazing.
And now Texas Rangers. I mean, now we're sleeping on them, but they have a beautiful ballpark. I went there, and not only that, but they're going to have a solid core. I mean, you saw that they spent what, $500 million on solid players. Now they're going to add maybe a DeGrom or something.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to give a solid competition to basically the Astros.
And I think they got like a new TV deal too, or something like that here over the last like 2 years or something like that, where it really increased what they can do with the payroll. So that team, one of the pitchers that we're going to talk about today, I still feel like he's going to the Rangers, but we'll discuss that a little more. Gotcha. Of course, DeGrom is also on that list of people the Rangers want to go after. Yep. Like you just said, we saw what they did already. So that team brings in a guy like a Bochy, and now they're like, all right, let's put the players on the field, and we feel we got something here. And the Yankees and Yankee fans and content creators, we're all scratching our heads saying, well, when are you guys going to get the front office right before we get the moves right?
Exactly.
Like, this is the most crazy thing in the world. It's like, I put a tweet out not that long ago, and I said, I personally believe if the Yankees got rid of Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman together, they'd win a World Series maximum 3 years. I truly believe that, because with their money, with the prospects they got coming up, the prospect pool, the capital they have, I feel like you could do so much. You could spend, you could trade. It's like if you get a good baseball mind there, they'd be like, hey, well, we'll put you together a team, no problem. Quick.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is where we are right now. So we're kind of in a frustrated mode at the moment. And now we're also in a waiting game with our all-time home run leader, Aaron Judge. So you made a video here recently. I'm going to link it in the description also, talking basically about, you know, what the hell happens if Aaron Judge does go to San Francisco, because per what we're hearing, the meeting went way better than expected.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts on this whole Aaron Judge saga?
I mean, I think we should prepare just in case he does decide to walk. I mean, you got to put yourself in that position, right? Put yourself in the position. Are you going to take $50 million less? I mean, if the Giants offer him $50 million more, I mean, at the end of the day, that's your family. That's your legacy. Yeah, it's great to be a baseball legend or whatever the case is, but why do these guys actually play?
And on top of that, Ant, I don't want to cut you off. I just want to, because I don't want to forget this.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, by the way, because it bothers me so bad when people want to say, just sign the contract, Aaron. Just sign. Like, you guys do understand that he's not going to play baseball his whole life.
Yep.
This is the time of his life where he's going to make the most money he's ever going to make. Why should he sit back and go, I'll give the Yankees a break? The Yankees? The Yankees a break? What are we doing?
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
Aaron, and please continue on, but I just had to throw it in there because I hear people say that. Oh, Pete, he should just sign the contract. Why? Why? That's crazy to me.
Exactly. No, I answer like every single comment on all my videos, and I read everyone's comment, and they said, just sign already. But it's like, you got to put yourself in that position.
That's right.
Like $50 million is $50 million, even if it's $20 million.
Yeah.
It's $20 million that you're set up for the rest of your life and your kids' lives. So at the end of the day, I don't blame Judge if he goes to, I don't know, whatever other team. It could be the Giants. It could be the Dodgers. It could be really whatever team.
I said the other day, it could be the Rockies if they offer him enough money. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's business, right? I run a business. I've done business for several years. And I'm not going to just be like, oh, yeah, I like this client. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm going to take a huge discount just to stay here.
Right.
No, that's not how it works. So if Judge moves on to the Giants, great. Move on. That's awesome. But if he stays with the Yankees, we got to be smart with it. It can't be too much either.
I agree 100%. And I do hope that the Yankees, in a sense, do have a window, because the last thing you want to happen, right, is, hey, we're waiting on Judge, and then Rodon's off the board, and this guy's off the board, Yoshida's off the board. All these other guys that are available start falling off the board, and the Yankees are sitting back saying, hey, man, we're waiting on Judge. Like, well, you can't do that, especially as a winning organization. If the Yankees feel, hey, look, we've offered a really strong contract, And I said this for a while. I told everybody, I said, if you think Judge is going to come out the gate and take the first deal from the Yankees, he's not going to do it because he wants somebody else to show the Yankees what his value is.
Yep.
Because if you remember, that's what the whole debate was in spring.
Yeah.
Was I feel my value is worth this dollar amount. And they were like, no, it's not, Aaron. Here's what we see. And he said, all right, well, let's table this. Let's just see what happens in the season. And obviously we know what happened. He banked on himself and now the Yankees footer's in their mouth. And I personally believe, and I have nobody has told me this, but based with my own eyes, I feel like Hal Steinbrenner is like, hey, look, Cash, sit this one out. I'm going to need to jump in this because I don't think there's a great fuzzy relationship between those two right now.
Yep, exactly. No, I totally agree with that. And when you said that too in one of your videos, I was like, yes, finally someone's saying this because it's true. It's like now Hal is probably just going and negotiating with him directly. He's had personal conversations with him. We haven't really heard anything from Cashman directly saying, oh yeah, I spoke to him. No, not so much, but more Hal has spoken. So this is like one of those things where it's like a Garrett Cole situation where he's going to step in and be like, hey, no, I actually want this player. Let's get him. It doesn't matter how much. Yeah. But again, do you want to sign a Judge to a 10-year, $400 million contract? I don't know about you, Pete. Would you do that?
10 years is a lot. 10 years is very much a lot. Now, there's ways, in my opinion, of structuring those type of deals. But here's the problem. We've never seen the Yankees do stuff like that. They're very late when it comes to maybe deferred money or let's front load quite a bit. Let's pay him the most for the years we think he'll be best. And then let's see it decrease a little bit. They have not been creative in that sense. Brian Cashman is not that type of GM. He doesn't get too creative. But 10 years, that's a fairly large commitment for a guy who's about to, what is he, 30 now? He's going to be 30 this 31. Year. He'll be 31 this year.
Yep.
That's a tough one. And $400 million, that's a lot of money, man. That's a major commitment. Now, I think this is kind of where everybody's concern is about when it comes to re-signing Judge. To answer your question, I don't think the Yankees will give him 10 years. I don't think the Yankees will do that at all. I don't think they come anywhere close to that. I think what everybody's concern has been is that a team like the Giants go, you know what? We may not win. We can say we're going to win, but we're going to make a shit ton of money. Yep. So let's give him 10 years. Because what you got to remember too, Enzo, is that agents care a lot about the years more than the player does. They get paid longer. So if somebody goes, well, there's a 2-year difference here. The Yankees are offering 7. The Giants are offering 9 with an option.
Yeah,
that's a big gap. Now, some people will sit back and go, oh, but he never wanted to be a Yankee then. And I would sit there and go, but the Giants offered 2 to 3 more years. So yeah, as a player who's been doing it, you do kind of feel a little slighted, but these guys don't even know me. I never played for them. And they're offering me more. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to see it, like you said, as the player.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. My gut feeling still says I think he's too valuable to the Yankees to let go, money-wise.
Yep.
But I could also just see a team like the Giants being like, hey, man, he liked it here. We liked him. Let's commit 8-9 years to this guy. Go for it.
Yeah. No, and I guarantee you, anyone that's watching this video, like even if you're the most diehard Yankee fan, but you get an offer from the Giants to play with them for $400 million and the Yankees are lowballing you at 337.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? You're telling me you're going to say no to what, $60+ million? Why? Because you're a diehard fan? Is that
correct?
Right?
It's a generation. It's generational wealth. It's completely up. This popped up. It's completely generational wealth. I mean, it changes your life forever. I mean, completely changes your life forever. That's kind of like that's like the Mets, Steve Cohen calling me up and go, hey, Pete, NYM news sounds a lot better.
Yeah, right.
Here's $10 million up front. And I'll be like, hey, let me get it. Somebody get in touch with the Yankees. They'll be like, well, yeah, who gives a shit about you? Go do the Mets thing. $10 million. Hey, what are you doing? I'll still be a Yankee fan, but I'll talk about Pete Alonso every day. I don't care. I mean, shoot, for $10 million. I mean, you got to think about it. Your life is set at that point. So it's a major difference. But gut feeling today, what do you think happens with Aaron Judge? Are you confident that he comes back?
Day by day, it kind of goes back and forth. Like I would say today, based on all the research, all the videos I've seen, all the videos I've made, I would say Judge is going elsewhere. I think that's my gut feeling. I think so because there's other teams willing to pay a lot more. And like you said, they're willing to be like, oh yeah, we'll lie to him. We're going to win, dude. We're going to do all this stuff, dude. Whatever. We'll pay you more. And at the end of the day, Judge is probably going to look at the Yankees offer as a low ball. And the Yankees aren't going to go. I don't think they're going to go through that 400. And I think it's going to get to that.
If it gets to 400, I'll tell you today, right now, the Yankees aren't doing it. They're not doing it.
No.
And they'll figure out a way to try to spin it. I think if that did happen, and this is a fun thing to discuss, and we can definitely talk about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I guess that kind of leads into, one of the other players I want to discuss. If you lose out on Aaron Judge, I mean, one, you got money, but here's my thing, Enzo. Here's the thing that worries me.
What's up?
I just worry about Brian Cashman being the guy to put the team together again.
You think we're gonna go and rebuild?
Well, not even that. Like, let's say, okay, so we know baseball. We know our baseball, right? If you lose Aaron Judge, you can't be a home run hitting club no more. You can't sit back and say, well, guys, I mean, we got, we get hit for power all day and all that. You just lost a ton of it. So what you got to do, you got to compensate that elsewhere.
Yeah. You
got to get younger. You got to get speed on the bases. You got to improve your defense overall. You got to be a different type of club. You got to transform more into an Astros. You got maybe your 1 or 2 boppers. So 20, 25 plus. They're going to do that easy as long as they're healthy. But you need guys that go first to third. You need guys that steal bags. You need guys that can hit the ball when you need it to. You can't have guys that have 23, 24, 25% strikeout rates up and down the order. You got to get some. You can't have Josh Donaldson there looking at pitches down the middle. You can't have that stuff anymore. So I worry that Brian Cashman would do other things like, we'll get Clay Bellinger then to play left field because he could hit probably 20 homers here. That's my worry, is that they wouldn't flip the switch to say, guys, we got to redirect. Like we got to look at contact. We got to look at these type of players. That's my concern if Judge leaves, is that one, they'll make tons of bad moves, or two, they'll look to rebuild a little bit and kind of restructure things, but do it the wrong way. That's my concern with the Yankees.
I mean, it's a good concern. It's a good concern. I kind of think the opposite. I think Cashman will actually talk with Hal, and Hal's going to be like, dude, we need a superstar. Like, we're not going to make any money. No fans are going to really come to see. Everyone was coming to see Judge. I drove like 5 hours to go see Judge hit that 62 home run.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Look at this. I wish you caught the ball.
I know. I was
telling you.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I was trying to do, but I couldn't, right? But at the end of the day, we're going to need someone that's going to bring people to the stadium, even to a last, end of the season, doesn't really matter type of game. We need someone that's going to bring. And I mean, I see him pivoting to Japanese players, maybe. I see him maybe getting a Carlos Correa because we're going to need.
I love that. I still want him with Judge. I still want him with Judge.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably
if
not.
Judge stays. If Judge goes, I think we get a Carlos Correa or someone that's going to be the new face of the team to help us go and actually win. And I think that would be even better of a situation if Judge were to leave. Let's get a Carlos Correa.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. It's interesting to think about because I'm going to have a video here coming out the next couple of days. I actually, early on when I don't know how much you know about Yoshida, the Japanese left fielder.
Yes,
but
I know a little bit.
Yeah, I was told some stuff on him. Then I got an email here recently that somebody that watches these guys all the time. And he's like, hey, send me messages whenever you want. And I do. And he sends me a whole list of stuff. And he was like, no, Yoshida's legit when it comes to hitting. They're like, he's a legit hitter. He's like, he struck out under 10% of his at-bats. It's stupid amount of contact. They're like, anybody out there who's telling you too that these guys aren't throwing 95, 96, he doesn't see that. That's a lie. He sees guys that throw 90 something. There's guys here that throw into triple digits. I mean, he's seeing good fastballs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He said his only big concern, because he heard my video and I was like, if you want a fair comparison of his defense in the outfield, think of Hideki Matsui. And he was like, no, Pete, I got to be honest with you. Matsui was way better than him in the outfield. It was like, he's not good in the outfield to the point they DH'd him most of the year this year. And he's also not fast and not a good base runner. But he's like, for a team, he said, you know what he is? He said, put it like this. think of him as what DJ LeMahieu was a couple of years ago. He goes, I don't know if he'll hit that high of an average, but he'll put the ball in play and hit the ball hard. He's not going to run fast. He's not going second to home all the time, first to third all the time.
Yeah.
But he puts the ball in play and he hits the ball where guys aren't. And with there being no shift now, that average might be back in the 300s at the major league level. So after hearing that too, I'm kind of like, you might have to take that risk of him in left field.
Yeah.
And just the thing is too, which is a point that I think I brought up in one of the videos too. I said, well, when you got Bader in center field, you don't have to have the greatest left fielder. Let him play down the line a little more. Bader could cover. Bader covers everything.
Yeah.
So that does help having a really good center fielder. But what do you think about the left field situation for the Yankees?
Yeah. I mean, I'm more of a risk taker, right? So that's how I do everything. Like sometimes I go the opposite side of what most people think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say Yoshida. Most people would say Benintendi. Like they'll be like, oh yeah, let's get Benintendi. He's proven.
I don't think he wants to be in New York.
Oh, he doesn't.
That's something I heard. Well, I was told a couple of days ago that the Twins are going to go really hard for him. But he apparently, I didn't know too much about this. Apparently, he's like a Midwest guy. Like he's not like, I don't want to be a big city guy. So money talks, as we know. I mean, money talks all the time. So
yeah,
we'll see. But I think if man, I'm kind of there with you. I want to go more on the unknown path when it comes to left field. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If I had to decide between one of those two guys, I know Benintendi might feel like the sure thing, but I kind of want to go Yoshida for some reason.
Yeah, I want to shake things up. Like I don't know. I feel like Cashman's been doing all the wrong moves, and obviously one of the moves would be, oh, get Benintendi. But let's try Yoshida. Let's tap into that Japanese market, like you've been saying, and I've been totally agreeing with you.
Yeah,
that brings in a bunch of revenue, especially if you lose Judge.
And especially when it's a superstar player too, and Yoshida is.
Yeah.
So I don't think people say he's the best hitter that's come there since Ichiro, like talking about, contact and things like that.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of intriguing names out there in that market, to see what the Yankees may do in that regard. But apparently they're intrigued by Carlos Rodon, Anzo. And I don't know how you feel about him the last couple of years, but I've been screaming for the Yankees to get this guy.
Yeah. No, same thing.
I watched one game with him. I think he threw a shutout. I forgot what team it was against. And he was on the road. And I think it was like the seventh inning. He struck out the side. And he just starts going like this to the crowd. Like on the mound, like, this guy's a nut job. I need him. We need him.
Yeah.
Like, we need the nut jobs. Like, we need guys. I don't want to call him a nut job, but we need guys that are like, I'm coming to your home and we're winning. Like you are facing the beast today and be ready for it. Like, we need more of that. We're too much like everything's okay. Don't worry. It's all right, guys. No big deal. Like, I want my team to have a villain. I think the Yankees need a villain again, and they don't have that. That's why, like you said, Correa makes sense. Rodon makes sense. So what do you think about the whole intrigue? You think it's legit?
I mean, I feel like he would be awesome. Like, he would be awesome. And just to go off the fact of what you were saying, I remember he had a press conference after he faced the Houston Astros. He did horrible, but he was just talking about the fact that he's like, oh, they're probably cheating. They're probably finding a way. And he's like, he doesn't care about it. He doesn't care. And that's the type of energy we need. Someone that'll just say whatever he needs to say. Like, we need everything to beat the Houston Astros. We can beat the Texas Rangers probably, but the Houston Astros have our number. And we have to figure out a way. I mean, even though, yes, he's been injured or whatever the case is, like, I'd rather take a flyer on him. Like, let's take him in. Let's figure out what's wrong with him. Let's bring him in. Imagine a Luis Severino, Nestor Cortez, Carlos Rodon, and, Cole.
I mean, that Cole, Rodon, Sevy, Nestor, Montas, and I'm not a big fan of Montas. I would trade him now, to be honest.
Get him out of here.
I told everybody, I said, look, guys, if I'm wrong about this, I'll go live and you guys can bash me all you want. Carlos Rodon's going to be a nightmare in New York. It's not going to work. I put every dollar I got on that right now. I don't believe it. You leave that. People don't understand. It's hard to trade for pitchers in Oakland because it's a totally different ball game there. Totally different ball game in the Coliseum. You get a lot of free outs there, huge outfit. It's a major difference than going to Yankee Stadium. But, Brian Cashman and the Oakland A's, they have a great relationship and they make a lot of trades. And he gets burned on most of them, but he keeps doing it. But Carlos Rodon, man, I mean, I talked a lot about last year too, when Robbie Ray got $21 million. I was like, see, that's still a deal I would have done. And now people are like, Pete, yeah, but he wasn't great. Second half, he was phenomenal. Yeah, okay, postseason, say what it look. Here's the thing about the postseason. Postseasons, you're going to have good starts and you're going to have bad starts. There's not many guys you look at that go, man, every time, besides like Kurt Schillens and guys like that, there's not many that you look at and go, every time this guy's on the mound, he just dominates. You know, sometimes you might have a better feel for a guy, but it's a toss-up. It's still a toss-up. And for me, Carlos Rodon is just one of those guys right now, and I don't know if you agree with this, but 178 innings last year, 237 Ks. You pair that at the top, a righty-lefty combo with Cole and Rodon. I mean, look, if the deal ended up, let's say the Yankees sign him for 5 years at 24, 25 million a season. Let's just say for the hell of it, right?
Okay.
And he burns out of something. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen. But would you be mad at Cashman? I wouldn't be mad at him.
No, I mean, that's the move that he needs to make, right? Even if I think he's asking for 35 million, but even if it's 35, even if it's that, like, let's do it. Like, let's make some of the moves like Bryce Harper. Like, that's one of the things I've heard you guys talk about. Like, I'm a huge Bryce Harper fan. Yeah. Huge. And I love the way that guy hustles, works, talks his mouth out, like does whatever he needs to do. And that was like a move Cashman should have made. And I mean, Rodon is one of those moves he has to make. Yeah.
I mean, I just think about that type of rotation and I say, man, if those guys are healthy come October, put them up against anybody.
No, bring it. I mean, you see Cole, you see Rodon, and then you got Cortez. I mean, you bring those guys to play against the Houston Astros. I mean, we'll do a lot better than how we did this season.
Yeah, no doubt. And you can even think about it even deeper. You could say, well, look, if Nestor Cortez has the same type of season he has, and he's that good, and let's say Severino concerns you with health and all that. Is he gonna? How many times will it be on the IL? Yeah. And if he is something like that, and it's kind of like the same thing as last year, you could always say, hey, Sevy, look, throw you in a pen. Throw you in a pen. We can ride this with 3 or 4 guys. And that's what I'm saying to me. Look, it's going to be his last year with the Yankees. You know, we'll see how the year goes, but they took the option on the 15 million. Smart, very smart move. Yeah. 15 million is nothing for Sevy. It's a smart move. And, you know, you can start looking at things now saying, you know what? If those 2 up top are healthy and we have Nestor Cortez right there too, he still had a good year. You're starting to think now, well, what if one of these guys struggle in the 3rd or 4th inning, the 5th inning, whatever it is? And I could go to Sevy early and have Lowe and all these other guys at the back end still available. Kind of like how the one thing I loved about Dusty Baker, I don't want to sit here and talk, you know, high praise on the Astros, but I called all those games in the World Series. And I remember saying, all right, guys, well, you know, he has Montero, you know, this guy. Yeah. Abreu. He knows who he's going to. Can we also have some relievers who know when they're going to pitch? Is that too hard to ask? That's baseball, bro, Mr. Boone. That's baseball. I know who my 7th, 8th, and 9th guys are. I know who my closer is. I know who my fire guy is. What are we doing taking Cole out for friggin' Trevino, who I love, by the way? But what are we doing taking him out for Trevino?
No.
I still can't get over it.
No, he should have left him in there. Just let him fail. Like, if he failed, he gave up a grand slam. Just, hey, whatever. Like, Cole, we can't blame him. Like, he went out there, did his job. But just a regular reliever, God.
Somebody, when I was calling the game, they're like, yeah, Pete, but if Cole gave up the hit, you would have been mad at Cole. I would have said I would have been mad at Cole, but I would have expected, it would have been more of an expectation for me of basically simply saying, well, yeah, you stay with your ace. Because when it happened, I'm screaming, no, you don't take Cole out. What are you doing? Yeah. And to be fair to Aaron Boone, I said the same thing about Rob Thompson when he took out Wheeler. I was like, yeah, this game's over. I said, Phillies fans, if you're watching, go home. The game's done. He's going to hit a homer. I'm telling you, because he throws that straight fastball. That's all he has, Alvarado. And, you know, he's not a crafty lefty. And boom, home run. It's all right. There you go. Told you. Everybody go to bed.
Man. Yeah, so, that was hard. That was hard.
Managers are falling into the analytic pool a little too much and saying, you know, how about I just stick with the guy we pay all this money to that is our best pitcher? And they don't do that too much. So unfortunately, you know, we'll see what happens with the Yankees. But news has been slow. Aaron Judge is kind of just chilling. You think he meets with the Dodgers?
Yeah. I think he's going to make his tour around with everyone.
Yeah, I think he will too. It's kind of funny too, because he came out and was like, I actually want to sign soon so my team could build around me. And I'm like, Aaron, all right, well, come on, man. The clock is ticking. Like, everybody's waiting for you to sign. Like, what are we doing?
No, we should get a decision soon. Probably by what? December 10th, December 7th, something like that.
I think so. I don't think it'll go much past the winter meetings. I don't think so. I think that's a winter meeting announcement type thing.
Yeah.
I've been asking this to everybody too, so I'll ask you also.
Yeah.
He comes back to the Yankees. Are you think it's a lock that he's the captain of the team? He gets named captain?
Yeah. No doubt.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. And I love to get people's opinions on this because I just think it's so friggin' obvious when it wasn't done at the time. When the Yankees decided, hey, Aaron, we're going to put this Judge's Chambers in there in right field. Do you believe a contract should have came along with that?
Yeah. I think Cashman is kind of slow to it at some point. Like another guy that we should look at giving an extension after this season, if he does well, is Bader, right? Yeah. Just guys that perform well. You know, guys that like, I mean, Judge's Chambers, are you kidding me? I mean, you're basically saying, hey, man, you're staying here for the long term. Yeah. Like, no, I mean, yeah, of course. It should have been a long-term contract with a good amount of money, maybe overpay him a little bit and keep him. If you're going to keep him and 99 is going to retire and all that, yeah. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious to, I don't know, to me. I don't know about everyone watching, but for me, yeah, you should have extended the guy. You should have overpaid him a little bit before this season and just sign him. That's it. Deal.
I agree 100%. So, guys, that'll wrap up Designated Spittaz with the one and only Enzo. Make sure you guys are going into the description and subbing to his channel. Okay, I guarantee you guys will not be upset. So, as the saying goes, we will never come whack on a Designated Spittaz track. Until next time, guys, we are out. Adios.
Peace.
Before it hits the front page.